partnership, the first 5 years, has been about just establishing the institutional and administration arrangements, and I think we've done very well with that. So the next phase, which is the next 5 years of the partnership, is probably going to be implementation. So we need to start doing some work on the ground. In the last 5 years, we've done very well in research. We've mainstreamed our research into policy, and that's been great. But the other component of the partnership is research into implementation. So I think that's going to be the focus for the next 5 years. How do we take our research and put it into practice? And also, how do we link the work that is happening on the ground with the research, so that there is that feedback loop between research and implementation, as well as a relationship between the researchers and the implementers.
They are assisting the department in terms of water resource management by how they are bringing together all the relevant stakeholders into one room and discuss about water resource management, which is a big task for the department to bring all the stakeholders in one room. Currently, the stakeholders are rehabilitating the wetland. They are doing some project of preventing water quality pollution into our main dams like the Midma Dam. Stakeholders that are also responsible for removing the alien plants to make sure that the water are available in our resources. Without the UEIP, we will not be in a position to make sure that our resources are well maintained and effectively and sustainably managed.
UEIP has played a very pivotal role in establishing a coordination mechanism and cooperation and liaison between a range of sectors, which we didn't have before. And I think part of our objectives and our mandate is to promote cooperative environmental governance. And that's one of our key factors. I think further to that is aligning our projects with other initiatives or drives that might be driven by some of the other signatories to the partnership, and aligning our work in a way that we can achieve a maximum benefit for ecological infrastructure and the natural environment for the benefit of everyone in the catchment. There's a strong drive from the department's perspective, both in terms of environmental management and our other functions related to economic development and tourism, to promote sound use of the natural environment for the benefit of economic development, for the benefit of social needs and development, and from our objectives of ensuring sound environmental management of our natural resources.
Looking ahead for the next 5 years, well, I think we're going to be strengthening that link, but we need to understand the institutions around them a lot more effectively. So the role of the municipalities and understanding the complexity of the environment that they operate in, both financially and from a governance perspective, is going to be incredibly important. And it's a big challenge because, as you know, many of our municipalities are dysfunctional, and we see that in our water resources. The other big gap that we have in the Umgeni, which has been addressed quite effectively in the Cape Water Funds, is the role of big business. In fact, not just big business, any business. So that's a bit of a gap here in the Umgeni. And then the other thing which we'll hopefully get a better handle on in the next 5 years is the real role that ecological infrastructure can play in water quality improvement and maintenance, and a bit more around disasters, particularly floods.
Okay, I think it's mainly the main areas, because it's a partnership, that the UEIP has that partnership, it has the connection with all the various role players, and there's numerous of them. Mgeni Water's mandate is not to work in catchments as such, so we don't have those connections, we don't have the knowledge in the catchments that the partners have amongst themselves. So being able to tap into that knowledge of all of those people together, I think is a wonderful opportunity and a very efficient way of being able to work in the catchment. So if we can use their partnership and their knowledge and their cooperation between them to assist and know where to act and where the most efficient and effective ways of keeping the catchment pristine and improving the flow and the quality in it, then that's going to be a wonderful thing for all of us, particularly Mgeni.
The work that's been happening in the UEIP has sort of laid the groundwork for what the project seeks to do. One of the key areas that we're going to be working in is going to be in the Mgeni, the Greater Mgeni for that matter. And part of what the project seeks to do is to really further and strengthen the work that the UEIP has initiated over this last 5 years. So it actually brings resources and capacity into the region to further support the work that the partnership has started.
As a member of the WWF freshwater team and the broader WWF, we have a big emphasis on partnerships as vehicles to enable catchment initiatives around securing water resources. So the existence of the UIP is a huge supporting mechanism for us as it brings together various stakeholders within the catchment around water resource issues and strengthening the water security in the Mgeni catchment.
Goal 17 is all about partnerships, and what better thing than the partnerships. But the scary part of this whole project is the river condition is getting much worse. Since the project started, it's got worse. So we really need to look at that and say we have a great initiative, but the facts are there that things are deteriorating. Every water resource in South Africa is now in an extreme form of degradation. UEIP is a magnificent venture, and SANBI have done really well to set it up. But all it's done is make things less worse. What was great about UEIP is the Msunduzi municipality is an absolute leader in this field. And we saw many of the innovations they're implementing, the floating islands in the streams, the way they're monitoring the work, their trash booms. The rest of South Africa can learn from Msunduzi. So really great to have local government so prominent in a SANBI UEIP kind of collaboration.
My experience is that it's an amazing group of people that have come together, and where we really engage with each other on a continuous and a day-to-day basis. And I think that's really intensified in the time that I've been around. And it's not only about informing each other and partially collaborating and doing things together. I also don't want us to kill ourselves with planning. So, just plan everything and be very strategic and have all these wonderful documents and plans and theories. I don't think for the partnership that would be very helpful. I think it could even stall some of the processes. So keep that momentum going. Not be afraid of doing and learning as we go, but to be open-minded. But surely to be a bit more strategic to get us to this next level, which we see around the globe very little evidence of the co-design, co-management on a daily basis.
The one thing that has been identified as a challenge is engaging the private sector, engaging communities, having community-based work that is meaningful to people and beneficial to people. It's going to be an exciting arena to get into. Daunting, yes, because it's taken us 5 years to actually figure out. We haven't figured out how we're going to do it. We don't know the how, but it's going to be something that we are going to be focusing on. One of the things that we'll be focusing on is engaging new partners, new sectors, and making sure that everybody gets involved and everybody has a say in the partnership.